Hi, my name is Kirsten Foss and I'm a business coach for the spa industry. So today I want to talk about business expenses. And I want to talk about this today because I had quite a few people join my Facebook group, Spa Business Mastery. And they were recommended to come into my group because in another group they were asking questions about expenses and how to track them, what to do with them. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity to do a little video and talk about it. Okay, expenses. Now, we didn't go to school for bookkeeping or accounting. And so right off the bat, I would like to suggest to you that if you are trying to do your own bookkeeping, that you stop it. Unless you are very good at this on your own and you know what you're doing, it is not worth your time trying to figure out your own bookkeeping and accounting. So I have always said, work harder, not smarter, and you can make more money in your spa and pay for somebody else to do your bookkeeping for you. And that way it's done right? That's what we want. We want it done right the first time. And it's quite frankly just a big headache for most of us. It doesn't come naturally. So, okay, get somebody to do your bookkeeping for you and get somebody to do it monthly for you. So even if you have somebody doing your bookkeeping for you, you still want to be tracking your expenses. You still want to know what's coming in revenue-wise, but you definitely need to know what's going out expense-wise. So there's a couple of different ways that I wanted to share with you. Now, it may seem obvious at first, but the easiest way to track your expenses is to just simply create an Excel file. Now, if you're not really good at Excel, there are tons of free downloads out there on cash flow forecasting or expense reports, that kind of thing. So you could just easily try to find something like that and download it into your own computer. Now, guaranteed it will be just a basic template and you will need to adjust your line items. And what I mean by line items is things like, in the basic template, it may have things like rent. It may have an item line for meals, for entertainment. But most likely you will have to adjust those line items for your own specific business. Now, we're in a business where we're a blend of service and retail. So it's kind of different than most businesses where they're typically service-based or they're retail-based, but we're a blend of both. So keep in mind when you download some of these templates, you're going to have to adjust the line items. Now, as far as what to put in there, if you're in your first year of business, this will be a little bit more difficult and you're probably gonna have to add as you go along through the year. But there's some general things that most people have to pay for, like rent, like your telephone, like your utilities. You may be paying for Facebook ads. You may be paying for a business coach. What else? Any kind of food and beverages that you're bringing into the spa, magazines. You can track your mileage. Now with your mileage, you can't really track going to and from work, but you can track if you're going to pick up product, something like that. Or if you are doing any kind of mobile business, you can track your mileage. You can also track your expenses for freight or shipping, that kind of thing. And of course, there's your big expenses like your products that you're bringing into retail and to use in professional back bar. But one of the biggest expenses, if you have a team, is going to be payroll. In fact, that will be your largest expense that you have. So be prepared when you are, if this is going to be completely new to you, that when you get to your payroll, it's going to be a big old ugly number. Okay, so now we've talked about kind of the basic part of tracking expenses. The other thing I wanted to bring up, because this is something that I have often struggled with, is keeping track of all those little expenses. You know the ones I'm talking about where you pick up maybe a card for a staff member and you just shove the receipt in your wallet and then it kind of never makes it to your bookkeeper or your accountant at the end of the month or the end of the year. There is a really cool app called Shoeboxed. And this app, what it does is that you take a picture of your receipt and put it into your Shoeboxed account. And It's recognized by CRA and IRS as far as, being able to submit these receipts. So it's all legit, but it's a really easy and pretty slick way of tracking all those little receipts that somehow just kind of get lost and forgotten, but they really do add up to a fairly substantial expense at the end of the year that maybe you're not accounting for. So give that app a look, and maybe that's something that you want to add to your daily habits when you're out purchasing. Okay, so the other thing that sometimes can get you into trouble with expenses and invoices are those invoices that come in through email. And we all get a ton of email every day, and it's really easy for just any old regular email to get lost in the feed. So what I do is I either flag the email that has the invoice, and I flag it with a specific color so that I know it's an invoice and it's an expense. And then at the end of the month, I just pull all of those flagged emails up and print off my invoices. Or what you can do is just print off the invoice as it comes in. So either way, whatever you find is easiest. I've found that's worked for me really well. So that is a few little tips about tracking expenses and making it a little bit easier for you, and also to hopefully give you some reasonable expectations around tracking your expenses. So that's it for me and what I wanted to talk about. I hope that you found something, a little nugget in there, interesting for you. And I really thank you for joining me. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can feel free to join my Facebook group called Spa Business Mastery if you're a spa owner. And if you are watching this on my Facebook page, you can also ask to become a part of the group Spa Business Mastery. And in there, it's really, we're talking about all things spa business and, offering you some support and some peer support and a little bit of coaching in there as well. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.